Every sunrise carries an invitation that most people never notice. It arrives without noise, without applause, without demanding your attention. Yet hidden within those quiet early hours is the power to reshape an entire life. Most people believe their future is determined by luck, opportunity, or talent. But look closely, and you'll discover something different. Long before success becomes visible, it is quietly being built in moments no one else ever sees. The morning is one of those moments. The first thoughts that enter your mind become the architects of your day. Before the phone lights up, before the opinions of others begin to fill your head, before responsibilities compete for your attention, there exists a brief period where your mind belongs entirely to you. That moment is sacred. Unfortunately, many people surrender it without realizing its value. They wake up and immediately invite chaos into their consciousness. Notifications become their first conversation. Worries become their first meditation. Comparison becomes their first emotion. Without knowing it, they have allowed the outside world to decide who they will become that day. But imagine beginning differently. Imagine opening your eyes and choosing stillness before stimulation. Imagine giving your own thoughts permission to exist before consuming everyone else's, because the quality of your morning often determines the quality of your identity. Every day you are becoming someone. The only question is whether you're becoming that person intentionally or accidentally. Many people wait for inspiration before taking action. They say they will wake up early when they feel motivated. They will exercise when they have energy. They will read when life becomes less busy. They will pursue their dreams when the perfect moment finally arrives. But life rarely rewards those who wait. It rewards those who prepare. A morning routine is not about forcing yourself into unnecessary hardship. It is about sending your mind one powerful message every single day. I am in charge. Those 4 words change everything, because the greatest prison is not built with walls. It is built with habits that slowly convince you that comfort is more valuable than growth. Every time you choose discipline over convenience, you weaken that prison. Every morning you rise, despite wanting more sleep. You prove that your purpose is stronger than your comfort. Every page you read, instead of scrolling endlessly, strengthens a part of your character that cannot be purchased. Every quiet minute spent reflecting builds emotional muscles invisible to the world but impossible to destroy. The transformation is subtle. You may not notice it after one morning or 1 week, perhaps not even after 1 month, but something extraordinary is happening beneath the surface. Just as water slowly shapes stone without force, your daily routine quietly reshapes your identity. Your confidence grows because you begin trusting yourself. Your focus improves because your mind learns consistency. Your emotions become steadier because you no longer begin every day reacting to life. Instead, you begin creating it.
People often ask why successful individuals seem calmer during difficult situations.
The answer is rarely found in the crisis itself. It is found in the thousands of ordinary mornings that prepared them for extraordinary challenges. Strength is not built during the storm. It is built before the storm arrives. This is why mornings matter, because they train you before life tests you. There is another hidden gift inside a morning routine. It teaches patience. Modern life encourages immediate gratification. Everything arrives instantly. Entertainment, information, pleasure. But meaningful growth has never followed the speed of technology. The strongest trees grow slowly. The deepest rivers carve landscapes over centuries. The most resilient minds are formed through quiet repetition. Morning routines remind us that greatness is never an event. It is a process. And processes require faith. Faith that today's invisible effort will become tomorrow's visible success. Many people underestimate the importance of silence. Yet silence is often where the loudest truths are discovered. When the world becomes quiet, you finally hear your own thoughts clearly. You begin recognizing fears that have secretly controlled your choices. You notice dreams that have patiently waited beneath years of distraction. You remember the person you once hoped to become. These realizations rarely happen while rushing. They happen while breathing, while walking, while writing, while simply existing without constant noise. Your morning becomes a meeting with yourself. And perhaps that is the most important appointment of the entire day, because how can you lead your life if you never spend time understanding the one who is living it? The world constantly asks you to become more productive, but your morning should first ask you to become more present. Presence creates clarity. Clarity creates better decisions. Better decisions create a better future. Notice that everything begins internally before appearing externally. Your external life is simply the reflection of your internal habits. If your mornings are filled with intention, eventually your life will be filled with direction. If your mornings are filled with distraction, eventually your future will mirror that confusion. Nothing changes overnight, but everything changes one morning at a time. Do not underestimate the power of waking 30 minutes earlier. Those 30 minutes may become 30 years of transformation. Within that small window, you can strengthen your body, expand your mind, calm your emotions, renew your purpose, and remind yourself that your future remains unwritten. The beautiful truth is that every sunrise offers another beginning. Yesterday's mistakes do not own today's morning. Last year's failures cannot stop today's first step. Each dawn quietly whispers the same message. You may begin again. That is the real power of a morning routine. It is not merely about waking early. It is about waking consciously. It is about choosing growth before excuses, peace before panic, purpose before pressure, discipline before desire. Every great life is built through ordinary moments repeated with extraordinary commitment. Tomorrow morning, when the world is still asleep and silence fills the air, remember that your future is waiting in those quiet moments, not in luck, not in perfect timing, but in the simple decision to rise, prepare, and become the person your dreams have been waiting for. Every morning begins long before your feet touch the floor. It begins with the thoughts that greet you the moment your eyes open. Those first thoughts are not random. They reveal the condition of your inner world. If your mind is filled with fear, doubt, or endless distractions, your day will often follow the same direction. But if you begin with purpose, gratitude, and quiet determination, you create a completely different path. The morning is not simply another part of the day. It is a reflection of the person you are becoming. It exposes your habits, your mindset, and the silent beliefs that shape every decision you make. Many people believe their lives are controlled by circumstances, yet they overlook the power hidden within the first moments of each day. Before the demands of work, family, or society begin to pull at your attention, there is a brief moment when your mind belongs entirely to you. What you choose to do that moment determines whether you lead your day or spend the rest of it reacting to everything around you. A rushed and distracted morning often creates a rushed and distracted life, while a calm and intentional beginning builds clarity, confidence, and emotional strength. The outside world can only influence you as much as you allow it to. Your morning offers an opportunity to reconnect with yourself before the noise of the world becomes overwhelming. In that quiet space, you can remember your purpose, strengthen your focus, and prepare your mind for challenges that have not yet appeared. Every sunrise gives you another chance to shape your thoughts before they shape your actions. When you learn to master those first moments of the day, you slowly begin to master your emotions, your choices, and ultimately the direction of your entire life. The life you experience tomorrow is quietly being created by the mindset you choose to carry this morning. The greatest battle you will ever face is not against other people, difficult circumstances or unexpected obstacles. It is the silent battle that begins within you every morning. Before the world demands your attention, before the messages arrive, before responsibilities begin to pile up, there is a moment when you must decide who will take control, your discipline or your excuses. Most people lose this battle before they even leave their bed. They choose comfort over growth, delay over action, and distraction over purpose. These choices may seem small, but repeated day after day, they shape the direction of an entire life. When you rise before the noise of the world, you give yourself an opportunity that cannot be found later in the day. Quiet hours of the morning create space for clear thinking, honest reflection, and intentional action. In those moments, you are not competing with anyone else. You are facing your own fears, your own doubts, and the habits that have kept you from becoming the person you know you can be. Every decision to get up, move your body, read a few pages, write your thoughts, or simply sit in silence strengthens the part of you that refuses to settle for an ordinary life. Real victory is rarely loud or dramatic. It happens in unseen moments when no one is watching and no applause is waiting. Every time you choose discipline instead of comfort, you send a powerful message to yourself that your future matters more than your temporary feelings. Confidence is built through these private victories, not through empty promises or wishful thinking. Long before success becomes visible to the world, it is quietly being built through consistent choices made in the early hours of the morning. Those who learn to conquer themselves before sunrise often discover that the challenges waiting later in the day no longer seem impossible because they have already won the most important battle, the one within their own mind. In a world filled with constant noise, endless notifications, and the pressure to always stay connected, silence has become one of the rarest and most powerful experiences. Many people fear quiet moments because they are uncomfortable being alone with their own thoughts. They fill every empty space with music, conversations, or social media, believing that staying busy keeps them moving forward. Yet beneath all that noise lies a deeper truth. Real strength is often discovered when everything around you becomes still. Silence does not weaken you. It reveals the parts of yourself that have been hidden beneath distraction. When you allow yourself to sit quietly, your mind begins to settle like water after a storm. Thoughts that once felt confusing become clearer. Emotions that seemed overwhelming begin to make sense, and answers you have been searching for often appear without force. Silence gives you the opportunity to observe your fears instead of running from them. It allows you to recognize the habits, beliefs, and emotions that quietly influence your decisions every day. This awareness is where true transformation begins, because you cannot change what you refuse to see. Many of the greatest breakthroughs in life are not born from constant activity, but from moments of reflection. A quiet morning walk, a few minutes of deep breathing, or simply sitting alone without distraction can strengthen your mind more than hours of meaningless busyness. As that ends, your imagination grows stronger, your focus becomes sharper, and your confidence is built from within rather than from the approval of others. You stop depending on the outside world to tell you who you are, because you begin to understand yourself on a much deeper level. The strongest people are not always the loudest or the busiest. They are often the ones who have learned to find peace within themselves, even when life around them feels uncertain. Every quiet moment becomes an opportunity to reconnect with your purpose, strengthen your character, and prepare your mind for whatever challenges lie ahead. The more comfortable you become with silence, the more you discover that the greatest source of power has been within you all along. patiently waiting to be awakened. Many people spend their lives waiting for one extraordinary moment that will completely transform their future. They believe success arrives through sudden opportunities, dramatic breakthroughs, or lucky circumstances. Because of this belief, they often overlook the quiet power of the small actions they repeat every single day. The truth is that lasting change is rarely created by one remarkable event. It is built through simple rituals that seem almost insignificant in the beginning. A few pages read each morning, a short walk before sunrise, a moment of gratitude, a few minutes of reflection, or the decision to make your bed with intention may appear too small to matter. Yet, these tiny actions quietly shape your character in ways you cannot immediately see. Every ritual is a promise you make to yourself. When you keep that promise day after day, you begin to build trust in your own ability to remain consistent. That trust becomes confidence, and confidence becomes the foundation for greater achievements. You no longer depend on motivation because your habits carry you forward even on the days when you feel tired, discouraged, or uncertain. The person you become is not defined by occasional bursts of effort, but by the routines you choose to honor when no one is watching. Nature offers the perfect reminder of this truth. A river does not carve through solid rock in a single day. It shapes the landscape through constant movement, one drop at a time. A tree does not reach great heights overnight. It grows steadily through seasons of patience, quietly strengthening its roots before its branches ever reach the sky. Human growth follows the same principle. Every meaningful destination begins with small, repeated steps that seem ordinary until enough time has passed to reveal their extraordinary impact. Never underestimate the value of a simple daily ritual. The smallest act performed with consistency has the power to reshape your mindset, strengthen your discipline, and transform your future. While others search for shortcuts and dramatic solutions, those who faithfully honor their daily habits are quietly building a life that reflects purpose, resilience, and lasting success. Great destinies are not created in rare moments of brilliance, but through ordinary actions repeated with unwavering commitment till they become part of who you are. Many people believe that discipline is a form of restriction, something that limits happiness and removes the freedom to do whatever they want. They see routines, commitments, and responsibilities as heavy chains that hold them back from enjoying life. But the truth is often the exact opposite. A lack of discipline does not create freedom, it creates dependence. When you cannot control your habits, your emotions, or your impulses, they begin to control you. You become a prisoner of procrastination, comfort, distraction, and temporary pleasure. What feels like freedom in the moment often becomes regret in the future. Real freedom is born from self-mastery. It is the ability to make decisions based on purpose instead of feelings. There will always be mornings when you do not feel like waking up early, exercising, studying, or working toward your goals. If you only act when motivation appears, your progress will always be unpredictable. Discipline teaches you to keep moving even when your emotions tell you to stop. It reminds you that your future deserves more attention than your temporary comfort. Every time you choose action over excuses, you strengthen your character and prove that your dreams are more important than your moods. The people who appear to have the most freedom are often the ones who have practiced the greatest discipline behind the scenes. They have trained themselves to stay focused while others become distracted. They have learned to delay immediate pleasure in exchange for long-term fulfillment. Their confidence is not built on luck or talent, but on the quiet certainty that comes from keeping promises to themselves every single day. This inner trust cannot be given by anyone else because it is earned through consistent action. Discipline also creates peace of mind. When your habits are strong, you waste less energy fighting yourself. Decisions become clearer because your values guide your actions instead of your emotions. Challenges no longer feel overwhelming because you have trained your mind to remain steady under pressure. The path may not always be easy, but every disciplined choice moves you closer to a life where your circumstances no longer control your future. The greatest freedom is not found in doing whatever you want, whenever you want. It is found in becoming the kind of person who has complete control over their own mind, their own actions, and the direction of their own life. Many people spend years searching for the right opportunity, the right relationship, or the right circumstances, believing that something outside themselves will finally give them the life they desire. They wait for confidence before taking action, for motivation before building new habits, and for success before believing in their own potential. Yet the life you dream about is not created by waiting for the perfect moment. It begins when you decide to become the kind of person who naturally attracts the future you seek. Lasting transformation always starts from within, long before it becomes visible to the outside world. Every thought you choose to believe, every habit you repeat, and every decision you make is shaping your identity. You are constantly becoming someone, whether you realize it or not. If your daily actions are guided by fear, comfort, and self-doubt, those qualities slowly become part of who you are. But when your actions are guided by courage, discipline, patience, and purpose, your character begins to change. The greatest achievements are not the result of a single moment of inspiration. They are the natural outcome of becoming a person whose daily choices are aligned with the future they want to create. Instead of asking how to become successful, ask yourself what kind of person consistently earns success. Instead of wondering how to become confident, begin acting like someone who trusts their own ability to grow through challenges. Instead of waiting to feel ready, take small steps that prove to yourself you are capable of more than your fears have allowed you to believe. Every action becomes a vote for the identity you are building. The more often you choose growth over comfort, the stronger that identity becomes. Your future is not waiting for a different version of life to appear. It is waiting for a different version of you to emerge. Every morning offers another opportunity to think differently, act differently, and move one step closer to the person you truly want to become. The distance between where you are today and where you hope to be is crossed through countless small decisions made with intention and consistency. When you stop chasing a new life and begin building a new character, you will discover that the opportunities, confidence, and success you once searched for were always drawn toward the person you were willing to become.